What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at this game between Leela and Stockfish 8. Stockfish 8 being the weaker engine in this game, and the reason why I paired up Leela against a weaker engine was just so we could get a Alpha Zero-like game. Leela is a bit similar to Alpha Zero, but it is way stronger. Um, and you'll see why. So today we have a chess 960 game, as you can see by the pieces all jumbled up, and this is 10-second per move. And I'm just running it off my computer, no cloud analysis, so it's not going to be the most in-depth analysis on the engine. And there's no theory, obviously, because it's chess 960. So this is kind of just to see what the engine's doing in a blitz game, and Leela really just thrives in blitz. So, anyways, we start off with b4, activating the queen, looking at the bishop. So if something like g5 or g6 happens, the queen can just take. And we get f5, f4. So kind of just taking up space in the center on both sides. Black is activating the rook and the bishop a little bit. And we get knight out and c4. And here, Black plays d6, so we can see Leela is already getting this kind of, active pawn formation, active pieces. That's the kind of things it likes. So it activates another piece, and you can see Stockfish 15 actually disagree with that. The eval will change a little bit, but here we have knight d7 activating another piece, knight e3, bishop f7, knight c3. So all just pretty normal activating moves, right? And here we get takes. So this is where the fun starts to happen. Leela does not take. It plays queen b1. Now, it is attacking this pawn and this pawn. So, it has not lost a pawn yet. That's why this is not just like losing or anything, right? But next, we get g5, activating this bishop, and the queen can just come back and take, but that actually doesn't happen. Leela's like, no, I don't need your pawn. And you can see, look at this. The eval, it doesn't agree at first, and then it jumps, and it agrees with Leela once it scans it a bit more. First, it was minus 0.20, and now it's plus 0.50. So we get knight f4, obviously having to move the knight because it's being attacked, and this kind of just takes up a lot of space, and we get knight e4, h6. So knight e4 is a really strong move because it is just taking down the center, and pawn coming down here, it guards this, but you can see we can actually just take here instead. So this pawn wasn't really even the target with this move. It delayed this pawn coming up, right? It baited Stockfish 8 to defend this so that it could take and then attack another pawn and force a move to attack the knight. So now when you attack this knight, it doesn't do anything, right? Because you can just take. But wait, Leela doesn't even take. Like, what? It has knight takes h6, and it doesn't like that. Even 15, Stockfish 15 is like, bruh. Oh, now h3 starting to show a bit. See, this is just how strong Leela is in blitz. It's crazy. But h3, knight takes. Oh, wait. Sorry. I read one of the moves wrong. That's coming up. But we get castles, which if you don't know how castles work in chess 960, basically there can be no pieces in the way. So, like, for instance, white could not castle this way right now, but black could. And once there's no pieces in the way, they just go to their original squares. So, like, if I were to castle this way, the rook would just jump over one and the king would jump too, right? The king would jump over to here. Whereas if I were to go here, the king would still jump too, but the rook would just stay in line. So we get castles and bishop h2. And now Stockfish is like, oh, hey, free pawn. But this is where things start to get a bit crazy, right? Because we have knight just moves back, And then we get takes, knight d5. So threatening the e7 pawn with check. And you can see the engine loves this. And back here, it didn't really see it, like it saw, or it's starting to see the moves, like it. And Stockfish 8 played the right move now. But look, back here, it's like bishop e5 is winning for black, or drawing for black, like it's kind of thinking on it. And then when it's actually played, oh wait, white has an advantage. So white grabs that advantage, and after takes, now we're into a territory where, like, after knight d5, this is just like really good for white according to the engine. So even Stockfish 15 had a hard time seeing it that far out, but Leela saw all of that. And the king moves over so that when takes here, it wouldn't be check. But now Leela doesn't even want to take that. It brings another knight into the battle, trades it off so it can open up the b file, which this is going to be a very important factor in this game, and you're going to see why. The bishop is on h1 behind the knight, like, and the queen is trapped up here. Like, let's just take a second to look at that. The queen has not moved for black. Look, up to where we were, the queen does not even move, right? So we open up the G file, and this queen is just stuck. So Stockfish 8 offers a knight trade, and Leela's like, no, I don't need your knight. And you can shut down this file right here, shut down the bishop file, but it doesn't matter, right? Because now Leela grabs the free pawn, and now Stockfish 8 realizes its mistake. So after pawn takes pawn with the queen, Stockfish 8 is like, oh wait, I have to retreat. This is not good. And here's where all hell breaks loose. We have rook b1 and castles. Like, that is just insane. The castling to get the rook over, like, it's all gonna happen. Watch. The rook comes over. The pawn goes up. The pawn goes up again. And then another pawn comes up. Like, look at what Leela's done. Like, watch this attack for a second. All by opening up the G file right here. It saw all of this. It saw taking right there to move the queen up, to activate the rook right here, then to castle, to bring the other rook over, then to push its pawns. And after all these pawn pushes, it brings the rook all the way up here. And this is just it. Like, this queen has still not moved. Like, I don't think black makes more than like one queen move this game. So you'll see, like, after the rook comes up, we get bishop takes right here. So white aligns the rooks, right? And obviously black is just kind of having to make some stalling moves because there's not a lot of moves for black. Black tries to guard this pawn, but the problem is after rook here, you can't go rook here, right? So this pawn is going to get overpowered very soon, especially with this move bishop takes. And the reason why this is so bad for black is because if takes, you just get queen b2. And you are not going to stop this battling ram, okay? You are not going to stop it. It's just going to lead to checkmate. You will not stop that. There's no way. So instead of taking, the engine plays bishop e8 to try to salvage the position by maybe taking here. But it doesn't matter. Leela's already got its sight. It takes a check, and it pushes its pawn. In this pawn push, sacking the pawn, and you cannot take it because of queen h8 check, takes, king here, or wait, no, it's just made on the spot, my bad. But yeah, you cannot take because of this line right here. So instead of taking, the engine plays king b8. We get c6, attacking the pawn and the bishop. And by the way, if you take with the bishop, I thought this would be the move because of the pin, but actually the engine just likes playing d7 check. Absolutely insane position here we got. But after c6, the queen finally makes its first move and goes queen a7. First move of the game. And it's like the only move for black that can like stall it out for just a little bit longer. And the reason why is because now we have to take. And actually, Stockfish 8 just goes ahead and takes the rook. Lets this trade happen. And then watch this move right here. Queen c5. Takes, sacking the rook, right? But you can't take it because it's mate in 1. So the king has to take here. And then we have takes and checkmate. Just absolutely amazing game here. Like, absolutely amazing game. I mean, just what Leela did in this game was amazing. Like, it all came down to opening up the B file right here. Right? Like, this is when you can see back here, there's some problems for white, kind of. Not problems, but it's a little bit more iffy by the engine. It has to think through it more. And then after this B file gets opened, it's just over. And Leela just completely took advantage of that, and we had this amazing game where all these pawns got pushed, the bishop got sacked, and this crazy checkmate. Absolutely insane stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed.